In today's audio, I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to review my last few videos, going back to 1966 Manhattan Air Force Base and parts 1 through 3 of Disclosure and the Alien Agenda. I don't want anyone to get lost or fall behind. That is, none that choose to keep up. I fully realize that some of my subs and the world at large really don't give a shit about the topics I cover. By the way, who won the Cowboys-Viking game last night? I'm sure I'll hear all about it today at the Bon Peter Pit. No, wait a minute. That's right. They are going to be closed today for cleaning. And Murray is in Montana. You know what he's doing, don't you? Making the sheep nervous. I ran into Walmart the other day. Now I know why he had a shopping cart full of woolite. He's going to get the poor critters drunk first. Yeah, but that's our Murray, isn't it not? So, I'd like to compare, and I've done this in the past many times, what I do to what Paul Harvey did. No, I'm not claiming to be the new Paul Harvey, not by any stretch of the imagination. Paul Harvey built his vast following on radio with short audio broadcasts. He knew the attention span of his listening audience, and so do I. And by the way, speaking of Paul Harvey, if you don't know him or kind of forgot about him, one of his best and most popular 3-minute broadcasts was If I Were the Devil, from 1965. I just watched it or listened to it again. It is amazing. It is so appropriate for today, here and now, and it ties in with my series. Now, all you gotta do, people, if you want to hear it, if you don't, ignore this. You go to YouTube, in the search bar you type in Paul Harvey, If I Were the Devil. And there you go. Check it out. So, do not expect from me long videos when I ship my equipment. Upgrade my skills and move to a new format, Gab TV, where I'll be able to bash, trounce, and denounce my good friends Murray and Dan the Mason with no censorship. Pretty cool, huh? Then you'll know why I'm trying to warn you about Murray and Company. So, people, are you ready to get started in the review process? Well, then stay with me, because I'm just getting started. On Monday, the 1st of November, 2021. Okay, so let's go back to part 1. First of all, you remember the 1966 Manhattan Air Force video talking about the Launch Command Module lieutenant that was having trouble with them blasted UFOs, messing with his nuclear missiles and making them unlaunchable. Yeah, it stemmed from the lights from the night before up in near Mohall. So there you go. You can review that. Part 1 started out with a July 2017 presentation slideshow by Geordie Rose, Aliens, Artificial Intelligence. We also had Elon Musk accusing Geordie Rose and Geordie Rose's kind of researchers and developers of releasing and summoning the demons. We also covered researcher Cyrus Parsa, who describes 2 of the 134 types of aliens, also known as demons, people. They're extra-dimensional. We live in 3. They live in 4, and they can easily go between the 2. In fact, the whole idea behind the quantum computing from D-Wave was to communicate between dimensions. It's not like any computer you've ever seen before. Maybe you want to take a look at it. And it's not extraterrestrials. He describes sinister demons as sinister. Remember that? Yeah, I said, no shit, Sherlock. I didn't expect to have any fun, love, and friendly. Gonna help you out. All about helping people, demons. And it's all part of setting us up for disclosure. We've talked about that. I've played a number of audios about that. All right. The revelation to the world. It's coming very soon. Might be early this year. That we are not alone. We've been visited by an outer space intelligence far superior to ours. And for a long time. How long, people? Centuries. These space beings messed with the missiles at the Manhattan Air Force Base in '66. But did you know? Malmstrom Air Force Base, Montana. Oh, Murray, that's where he is. Making the sheep nervous. In 1967, had the same problems as the Manhattan Air Force Base did in 1966. These goddamn demons, they get around. They are mobile. President Ronald Reagan, remember this, people? Early 1980s, UN speech. I'm just going to play a little bit to refresh your memories.
In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bond. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Remember that now, people? Remember the 1947 Roswell incident? How about the 1952 UFOs over the Capitol building, Washington, District of Criminals? President Eisenhower's secret meetings with the space aliens? Now Hollywood has been doing a bang-up job with this part. In the endless, we are not alone, space alien invaders, etc., etc., etc. Who controls our minds, people, and how and what we think about? Okay, in part 2, we went through Aleister Crowley, probably one of the most evil people, if that's what you want to call them, that ever lived. Jack Parsons of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, who along with L. Ron Hubbard, founder of the Church of Scientology and author of the best-selling book Dianetics, and their Babylon Working Project, what were they doing? Well, all three of these guys summoned the demons. Now, in this part, I touched upon the possibility we might just live in a virtual reality matrix. You know, probably wouldn't hurt you people to go back and play them videos. They are short. I also covered the demons already summoned, already here, and what should we call them to better understand them? Shapeshifters, serpent seed from Genesis 2, tares from the New Testament, and then finally it ended with what do we really know about our past, our history? What if what we have been taught ain't how it really was? Moving on to part 3, Elon Musk's warning to the world. Not only is AI, artificial intelligence, not what most of us think it is, but it poses a more serious risk to mankind than nuclear weapons. You heard him in his own words, the world's wealthiest man. Go figure. Elon's position is, all the Geordie Roses need to be watched and need to be regulated. These researchers and project developers don't know what they're playing with. Geordie Rose is an evolutionist, doesn't believe the Bible, can't call his work summoning the demons. He just leaves it at what we, and by the way, who's we, are building is, quote, not human. And probably the most confusing part of yesterday's video was Donald Trump's May 2017 trip to Saudi Arabia. The reason given is that they're going to celebrate the opening of a new anti-terrorism center. I'm telling you, people, it was anything but that. Like I said, picture some sophisticated, high-tech anti-terrorism center. This was nothing like that, people. So you gotta look at it. And if you haven't seen the Associated Press 2-minute coverage of the event, and you have no excuse why you haven't, people, because I left a link, and I further told you, if the link doesn't work, how to search the video by name, and I gave you the name in the YouTube search bar. The opening scene is Trump, the King of Saudi Arabia, and the President of Egypt laying their hands on a white light globe. Now, the laying of hands, people, is a biblical concept. Jesus laid his hands on the sick, the infirm, and the lame and healed them. It is a religious procedure. That globe represents the hive, H-I-V-E, like beehive, the hive mind of super advanced artificial intelligence. Like I said, this was a religious ceremony of the dark side. Team Evil. Trump and the other two heads of state weren't rubbing a white globe, people. They were surrendering their earthly sovereignty, their authority. They were worshiping the beast power. There's an old saying, you know I love old sayings, the devil's in the details. Well, Trump by his actions is telling you the devil is wholly involved in artificial intelligence. So for whatever reason, the world's wealthiest man, Elon Musk, is trying to warn us. I don't know. I can't figure that angle out. Finally, in part 3, I showed, or I tried to, that there's a way out, but most will reject it. Why? They won't accept the Bible as an authoritative source, as an authoritative scientific, cosmological, and historical reference book. Nope. Most dismiss it as a book of fairy tales. And rightly so does the Bible declare, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. Perish, people, is the very opposite of Star Trek Spock saying, live long and prosper, when he makes the V sign with his hand. So in upcoming part 4, I'll flesh out more of the details on disclosure, the Disclosure Project, and what its goals really are. Our masters and the Overlord and his princes have been working a long time to achieve these goals, and I think you need to know what some of them are. So I'm going to wrap this up by stating the bloody effing obvious. I've been at this for decades, people, being prepped for the job I never applied for. A humble watchman on a wall shouting to any with ears, hey buddy, your house is on fire. You might want to take a look. And on my defense, I can't tell you all I know in 15-minute or less videos, or even all I think I know, if you don't believe me. If you're interested in how your house caught on fire, which it has, you need to do the further research. You've got to do some of the legwork. I can only make it so simple and tell you where to look. And by the way, the information is out there, readily available, and usually concealed in plain view. Everything you need is contained in the best-selling of all time, least read and understood books, the Bible. Believe me or not, but your house is still on fire, people. Now things are going to get much worse. Very difficult for Bible-believing Christians like myself. Going to be the mother of all horror shows for the atheist agnostics and the 501c3 church entity people, the state church dwellers. Yeah. Hey, I might even tell you in the next video why you need to go out there and get yourself, maybe a box of 25, I think they sell them in 5-packs, of the new Remington Copper Sabbats. Copper Sabbats. Now, why would I suggest you buy those? Well, I'll give you a little teaser clue, people. Think the Giant of Kandahar. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you will if I cover it in the next video. In the meantime, people, you're going to find this painfully hard to believe, but I got stuff to do.